morning, sir.
Good morning.
Tell me some interesting things about your film to start.
To start with, my film is a action film. It's based out of Dade City, Florida. It was created there. It has a lot of landmark locations, and it just overall the film it depicts a young boy growing up with a struggle without having a dad. His dad left at a young age, and he's still dealing with the loss of not having a dad, and he's still chasing after him.
So, what were your initial thoughts about making this movie?
My initial thoughts had to be, well, the start was every kid needs a father figure in their life, and on top of that, not everyone does. So this can touch a lot of audiences in the way that it makes it so special. Like you can see the emotional, like how some things can impact a kid, like a father figure in his life. Not having one, how can it emotionally impact a kid?
And what were some of the hardships that you encountered when creating this film?
Some of the hardships had to be like the editing process. It had to be the process with actually getting to locations, because this wasn't just at one location. It had to be for the availability of the actors, directors, editors, and producers overall. And as well, there was other things like we had to get a bike to use, we had to get a car to drive over to places. I mean, these are just minor things. Other things were like lighting. We only filmed during nighttime too for most of the project. Other parts of it, we tried to make it up towards the sunset to even it out. But overall, it was for that 1 hour, one part of the day.
So, what were some of the props that were used?
Some of the props that were used on this were like the laptop that we used for the clip with the father and the son. We used props like a car to get us to places. We used props like clothing. It was a natural, like oblique, like kind of like clothing. It wasn't anything special. It was just a teenage boy growing up. Some other props include trucks that drove by. We wanted to make it seem more natural, so we had trucks drive by, and we made sure that we would get that in the frame, because usually a lot of people are out towards the end of the night.
And how did your production skills develop throughout this project?
My production skills, I feel like they improved like a lot. I think that during this film, if I didn't have the capacity to actually communicate, to go through with it, I mean, there was a lot of time and effort that went into this project. There was a lot of time and effort that went into talking with the group members about it, getting the idea out there, everything.
Interesting. And would you say that your film conforms to social conventions, or does it go against?
I think it conforms to social conventions, definitely, because the film itself, it has a lot of real things into it, like with society as a whole. Like for instance, like a lot of people don't have a father out there. This also conforms to a community, the African American community, as many of them don't have a father out there, and that's just something that's real. And another thing is that this film as a whole, it tells you about a boy's life. Boys go through things all the time. Teenage boys, they're going through all of these things at once, and they're coping with it, they're dealing with it, and they have to have ways to let it out.
Interesting. And do you think that your film gives off of a different genre, or does it?
I think that my film can give off a little bit of a different genre, just because of the way that we filmed it with the lighting, and there's kind of a noir kind of feel to it. But overall, I think that it conforms to the action genre due to the fact that this kid is constantly moving around. He's constantly fighting off his struggles. Like, for instance, the bike scene, the chase scene where he was getting chased, and even the scene where he got hurt and was in the crutches.
And how would your product distribute as a real life media film?
So I would probably distribute it through YouTube first, as like a teaser trailer, to see see how many views it's getting, see if people really like it, and then I would probably test it out there, test the waters of like low quality film. It wouldn't be a major film. It would be under like a personal film, like more like A24, that kind of production.
And do you see any films that might resemble the look of yours?
There's a couple films that resemble the opening scene for mine. I could think of John Wick. That one started out with a crash scene, and then he goes past looking at memories just like ours did. And I could also think of other films like Home Alone with the chase scene in it, with talking about a boy about how he encounters a struggle while his parents are on vacation.
Yeah. Did you have fun making this movie?
I did enjoy making this movie. There was a lot of times where it was a little stressful with the group members, getting them to communicate with each other and fighting against what they like and what they don't like. But overall, it was a great project, and I think that we did a great job as a whole.
Do you think you could have done a better job?
I think that with the time given, we did as good a job as we could have, and we could have done a better job if we would have focused more as a group overall.
That's all you can do.
All right.
Thank you for your time.
Thank you.